In honor of me getting the Sprigatito Build-A-Bear, I will be ranking all of my Build-A-Bears today. Now, I do not own every Build-A-Bear that has come out in the Pokemon collection, but I do in fact own 15 of them. So, we're just gonna start. Coming in at number 15 is the Flareon Build-A-Bear. Now, she is still a cutie. They are all cuties. I would not get them if I did not like how they look, disclaimer. But they still have some flaws that I would change. The biggest one on Flareon is its tail. It is so heavy, I don't know if you can tell, it's stretching out its seams. So she's pretty stationary in her life in my room. Ears also very flop. Doesn't stand up very well. But she's a cutie. I'm not the biggest fan of this fabric right here. That's just a sensory thing. That's a personal thing. But it is a theme throughout this list, so I'm just warning you now. Number 14 hurts my soul a little. It does suffer from being one of the first Build-A-Bears Pokemon that they did. It's Eevee. She has that weird fabric. It's even weirder than what Flareon has. And then I don't particularly like this fabric. Tail's kind of flat and floppy. Ears also flop back quite a bit. She is still a cutie. I was still super excited. Obviously, Eevee is my favorite Pokemon. I even got the sounds in this one. So, we still love her. We still love all of them. But yeah, on the scale of the ones I own, 14. Number 13 is going to have to be Dragonite. Now, he is 13 specifically for body proportions. We were actually just talking about this yesterday when we were at Build-A-Bear because we saw Sobble and he has this ginormous head. And I almost think there has to be like a certain amount of stuffability in a Build-A-Bear. Like it has to hold a certain amount of stuffing. So some proportions get a little wonky. He's just like, he's got some hips. And he just doesn't look proportionate because his head is so small. But again, still a cutie. We still love him. He's a thick boy. They stuffed him well. So, number 12, if you are following my theme, is the Growlithe plush. He, again, has that fabric that I'm really not into. It's not for me. His mohawk thing is also quite tall. I think we could have brought that down. Like right there. That looks but then you go, it's huge. He's got a big old mohawk. But he's still a cutie. He's still very Growlithe. Some of them get their dimensions a little messed up. Other than his mohawk, his dimensions look pretty good. He's also his fluff right here is kind of big. But again, I think that's just like a standard where you have to have a certain amount of stuffing in each one. Number 12 is Charmander. Now this is probably my favorite Charmander plush I own. I think this is one of the best plushes I have owned of Charmander. He just looks so Charmander. I don't know. There's something about him. I really love this one. But his tail suffers. It has that weird fabric. I don't know how else they could have done fire. I can't give any suggestions. But I really am not a fan of this fabric. I really don't like it. It's a personal issue. I understand that. But that's why he is number 11. I had to recount it in my head. Number 10, some people might come at me for this in the comments, is Mew. Now, from this angle, Mew looks absolutely perfect. This is a perfect Mew plush until we look at that tail. Mew is known for its long, long tail. Even if it was just connected to the back, I would be a-okay with that. But we got this short little tail. And that's just not Signature Mew. Signature Mew has a long tail. So, that's why she goes a little lower on my list. She is number 10. From here on out, there really isn't as big of problems for me as the other ones. Very minor ones that brought them down lower on the list. But, like I said before, guys, I love these plushes. I go and get them whenever I think they are the best of the best, whenever they're one of my favorite Pokemon. There are plenty I don't have, but I'm just telling you now, I love them. I really do. So, number 9 is Glaceon. Now, every Glaceon plush suffers because of one thing, and that is its little crown. I will preface this by saying this is the best I've ever seen someone do the crown. It always looks weird. I don't know what it is. It's a hard thing to render as a plush. I think this is the best rendition of it. It's still a little funky to me. I don't know if it's ever going to be absolutely perfect, but that's why it's number 9. Now, number 8 is pretty much a repeat of number 9. It is Leafeon. Now, this plush is so great. All of the evolutions kind of suffer from the stubby legs because evolutions really don't have stubby legs like that. So, that's the one, like, animatronic thing if we're looking at accuracy. But Leafeon also suffers from this crown. Of course, the lighting's going to get all messed up right now. Again, probably the best that this crown has been. But it's still just a little bit funky. No one can ever get that one right either. Number 7 is the Ghost Boy himself, Gengar. I love Gengar. I can't tell you why, but there's something off about him. I could not describe it to you, but I still love him, and he's still just a big chunk and just great. I love him. Look at him. He's so happy. Now, of all the evolutions I have from Build-A-Bear, this one is probably my favorite. It might be because it's one of the simpler ones, but it works. And that is Umbreon. Of course, we have our little problem where they are kind of stubby legs, but it's not too unproportional. Like, that still looks pretty good. So, Umbreon is my favorite. What number are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6. We have now made it to my top 5 Build-A-Bears. And coming in at number 5 is Bulbasaur. He is so perfect. Like, look at him. I could not have a better Bulbasaur. I actually like this better than the life-size ones they came out with. They look a little derp, but not in the way I like. This is a perfect angel. The only thing is, his legs need to be stuffed more. This was very early on in my collection of Build-A-Bears, so I didn't realize that these guys need to be stuffed to hold up with the collection. So maybe someday I'll get his legs stuffed properly. But he is a perfect angel, and I love him. Coming in at number 4 is Scorbunny. He is also a perfect boy. I mean, I love Scorbunny. It's not even the starter I picked. But something about Scorbunny is so adorable. The fact that his hair is like little flames. Amazing. He's just a little boy, and he just wants to play soccer and have friends. And I love him, and he's perfect. Legs are a little wobble, but he just sits. That's fine. We are in the top 3. Now, this is where my biases for the Pokemon really come in strong, because these are all, honestly, perfect Build-A-Bears, but I have favorites, okay? Piplup is number 3. Again, very proportional. Love it. Perfect size. I don't know how you could get a more perfect Piplup. Maybe that really fuzzy one, because I like that fabric. Somehow it's different from this fabric. I couldn't tell you. I'm fallen. But I love it. Number 3. The number 2 spot goes to my newest Build-A-Bear, and that is Sprigatito. The proportions on this Sprigatito are chef's kiss, like purr. Look at this. She is a perfect little angel. Sprigatito has definitely made it into my top 10 favorite Pokemon. So obviously I had to get this Build-A-Bear, and it is gorgeous. I love it. I am in love. It's going everywhere for me. Just kidding. I wish. Number 2. And last but not least, I thought it was only fitting that the number 1 spot went to the actual bear in my collection, Teddiursa. I mean, it's called Build-A-Bear. Teddiursa is a bear. It had to be number 1. I have also always loved Teddiursa since the 3rd Pokemon movie. It's so cute. And I've always loved the moon. So the fact that it has a crescent moon on its forehead. But again, amazing proportions. No notes. Look at that tail. Purr. Number 1 on the list. Okay guys, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's any other ranking videos you want to see of my collection, please put it down in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It supports everything I do on my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!